our customers is a global financial services company,
Yeah.
and we did deploy there, clean all their data, all their workforce data is knit together, and they're able to, derive instant predictive insights, and also, included surfacing up patterns they didn't know to ask for, which is part of the delight factor. But it's the chief technology officer there who's my favorite part of the story.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. One of your hosts here, Trey King. And today we are very excited to have our guest, Laura Close from Included. And we'll be diving into her story a bit today, as well as what it is that her company does. And then, as always, engaging insights into the technology industry. So be sure to stick around for this one. But without further ado, Laura, welcome. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Trey.
Laura, I think it's maybe, if you don't mind, if we can kick things off by you just to introduce yourself and tell us a bit of background, a quick snippet of two of your story.
Yeah. I'm Laura Close. I'm co-founder at Included, and we are headquartered in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. We serve a global portfolio of customers, and really fundamentally what we've done is we've brought a solution to market that delivers the first ever AI native capabilities for people analytics so that HR can make sense in a data-driven fashion and really unlock that ROI. I mean, how I got here is a crazy story. If
Yeah.
you had told me as a young person, sorry, go ahead.
No. Please tell me this crazy story.
Well, just if you had told me as a young person that I was going to go on in my life to found a software company, I probably would have laughed at you. But, the world is an interesting place. And when you live in a tech ecosystem like Seattle, amazing opportunities can come to pass.
Excellent. Tell me what was it like initially? Like you said, you never thought you would get into that, but like how did that, specifically happen for you? Where did that spark come from to say, yo, this is something that obviously up until now that you're passionate about, right?
Yeah. My co-founders are brilliant in their own right, and the three of us understood that the way that companies take care of their employees was ripe for a revolution. That the same level of care that we pay to our customers,
Mm.
that it was time to pay that level of care to our employees. And from that understanding came the awareness that data-driven behavior was not available for companies in an easy way when it came to employee engagement, retention of high performers, and really getting out ahead of any emerging trends. And so what we held hands and brought to market for all of our customers years ago is the ability to care for employees through predictive analytics and delightful insights generated from AI.
Understood. Tell me, Laura, based on your expertise, what are the current, market trends that you are aware of? What winds are blowing? What have you been noticing lately?
Well, when we first came to market, if we told a CHRO or anyone in a company that we were AI for HR data,
Yeah.
the fear that would cross their face was noticeable. You could clock it, right? And that wasn't that long ago. It was like 4 years ago. And we have built AI and embedded it in every single step of our product. In fact, we're the first AI native product for people analytics. And what happened was
Wow.
ChatGPT changed the game. Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
And when ChatGPT exploded, right, folks were really open to the conversation in a different way. So the trend that I would speak to, I mean, I think of us as like, this must have been what it was like moving from on-prem to cloud, you know.
Got it. Got
So
it.
that's really where we're at now is, it's time to move to AI.
Yeah. Tell me, and then, having said that, what's your take on the current market sentiment?
The current market sentiment about AI.
Yeah. Where do you think, from a let's say let's maybe talk about from a buying, point of view.
Yeah. Listen, at Included, we talk to CHROs and chief people officers and heads of HR and heads of
Mm.
people analytics who sometimes have budget and sometimes they're going to have to make the case to allocate budget when it comes to purchasing software.
Yeah.
But there is always money available when it comes to dramatically expanding the impact of your team and delighting those internal customers and allowing for data-driven ROI to exist within the HR data set. And that's really where we see success is enabling our customers with business cases and really letting them understand that the materials are on hand so they can easily make those budget requests.
Got it. I think maybe, having said that, I think it's maybe a good time now if you can maybe just elaborate a bit more on, what it is that the company does.
Yeah, well, you know, fundamentally what we solve is, within a company, it's very frequently the case that workforce data is fragmented, it's located in disparate locations, and Included at its core knits all sources of workforce data together and cleans them. And then our second layer of AI is able to generate predictive insights off of that. So we're the
Wow.
first company, yeah, thank you. We're the first company to build a people analytics solution with the end user in mind. Um, I
Yeah.
have a little story that I could tell you that
Yeah,
I like.
please. Please.
Yeah. So the first tools for people analytics, I compare it to like a book of spells for a wizard. So if you imagine like the king riding his horse out to the ivory tower and the wizard is up in the tower, and the
Yeah.
king comes up and says, "What's news of attrition, sir?"
I love that.
And the wizard says, "Let me consult my book of spells." And the book of spells is the sort of old-fashioned people analytics technology. It's just for the wizard. And he, does this kind of incantations over his spell books and comes back to the window, a month later and says, "Attrition is down, sir," right? And so forth. It's very kind of old-fashioned. And it included what we said is how can we use AI to put the information in the hands of the king so that when he's in his throne room, the CEO can just say, what is actually trending right now without
Mm.
having to ride out to the people analytics team. And the people analytics team loves it also because it's doing all that low level analytics work for them and they're freed
All
up to
right.
do bigger tasks.
Excellent. The you've mentioned now, a lot of value that the company like brings to the table, right? Uh, in your own words, what would you say is the most significant value that your business can bring to other businesses?
I mean, I think it's the retention of high performers
Excellent.
and the ROI when it comes to a historical cost center, which is HR. I'll tell you
Y-
another story.
Yeah, please tell me another one.
Mm. One of our customers is a global financial services company,
Yeah.
and we did deploy there, clean all their workforce data is knit together, and they're able to, derive instant predictive insights, and also, included surfacing up patterns they didn't know to ask for, which is part of the delight factor. But it's the chief technology officer there who's my favorite part of the story. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he's kind of like a king over all of his teams and people, and he really cares about them. And with Included's, custom self-service reporting and predictive insights, he was able to get out ahead of attrition items that were starting to trend in his workforce and look at employee engagement and happiness there as well. And all the other org leaders became jealous and needed their own access too. And that's really where the magic happens.
Excellent. Tell me, in your opinion, I mean, you've been at this, Laura, for quite some time, right? And you've got such a colorful background. In your opinion, what type of mindset, like, would you say is needed to be a successful founder of a company?
Mm. You have to be willing to invest in the possible. Too often, individuals have a good idea, but are unwilling to invest in executing against it. People get scared about the downsides, and they get caught up in the potential pitfalls instead of sort of bullishly executing towards what you have discerned is possible.
Excellent. The if you don't mind to latch on that, we've got a lot of listeners that's wanting to might be stuck in a rut, or wanting to take that leap into being a business owner and want to start out something. Uh, up until from your career up until now, what are some of the most important things that you would say that you've learned in your career?
When it comes to transitioning from, an employee to a business owner, I think that's what the question is.
Yeah.
Mhm. Um, it's very important to have mentorship. And if you are in a non-venture backed space, then no worries. Just get the good, healthy mentorship of someone with real proof, and you'll be fine. If you're in a venture-backed space, then you're going to need at least one person on your team who's exited before. It's going to make your life so much better and easier. And obviously, there are stories where you can do it without that, but that's really a critical component. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that was true.
The that is so profound. I think there's a couple of people making notes right now. So that's excellent. Tell me, Laura, where can where can the listeners, where can they get hold of you guys?
Yeah, if anyone's listening and is thinking, I'd like to move my business from on-prem to the cloud when it comes to HR data, I'd like to put predictive, intelligent, delightful results that help us care for our employees into the hands of our leaders on a regular basis. They can reach us at our website, which is included.ai.
Excellent. Laura, thank you so much for your time. I can, fully understand, because of that great value that you guys bring to the businesses, as well as, the like you mentioned, the relationships that you have with your clientele. I can, I get it, man. I can fully understand why you guys are so successful. So, first and foremost, congratulations, and then all the best to you and your colleagues going further, and may this business just grow from strength to strength. It was awesome having you on. Thank you.
Thank you, Trig.